Hey guys, welcome to Tuesday Talk. This week's theme is studio competition, and I just want to apologise if my camera is blurry. I can't really tell because I bashed my head yesterday from ice skating. I just kind of face planted and I got this lovely mark on my head. But yeah, and I can't tell if it's the camera that's blurry or I just can't see properly yet. So yeah, I'm kind of concussed. I'm not meant to be doing anything, but who cares? But yeah, so I apologise if the camera's blurry, but I don't actually know if it is or not. So as I said, this week's theme is studio competition, and this isn't competition studios, this is the competition inside your studio. So I go to a very big studio. My dance school in total, these aren't all the people who do ballet, but there's about 1,000 people in my dance studio, which sounds really big, and I guess it is, but we're the only dance studio in my area, so everyone who wants to dance just comes to us, which is kind of annoying, but yeah. But as I said, that's not just all ballet. I wouldn't say my studio is exactly competitive, but that's just because since there's such a big number, we don't really put on proper shows where you can audition for roles. So in that side, I wouldn't really say it's competitive, but within the classes themselves, I would say it is quite competitive because everyone kind of wants to be the best. It wasn't so much when you're younger, because when I first joined the studio, I was about 8, and I was put in a class full of 5-6-year-olds just because they didn't know whether I was going to be any good or not, and it was very relaxed there. You didn't really have to worry about anything, and nobody really cared if you were good or not. 6 months later, I was moved out of the class into a group of 10-year-olds, I think, and I was 12, and that was a lot more competitive in what you did, and it was, your name does not want to be said for corrections. You had to be the best in that class. So you had the girls who were really good and the girls who were they weren't bad in any way, but the girls who weren't as good as the good girls, you could tell that they were trying so hard, and yeah. And because there's so many of us, you kind of either have to be really good to get noticed or really bad. If you're somewhere in the middle, you don't really get noticed, so everyone's trying to get that top space, which is kind of an imaginary space we kind of made up, but yeah, everyone's trying to go for that. So yeah. And then I was moved up to the class I'm in now, which is actually my age group, and I guess you could say we are quite competitive, in the class, but it's kind of secret competitiveness. You know it's there, and you can tell it's there, but no one really says anything about it. And there's the girls who do care about it, and the girls who don't, they just kind of muck around, do their own thing. But I'm quite a competitive person. I have to be I'm one of those kind of people who has to be good at something. I can't stand not being good at something. So if I get a correction in class, I'll go home and I'll work on that correction for hours and hours and hours. I'm so competitive, and it's really bad. I really should try and work on not being like that. But yeah. But our class, it's not there, because I think in every single studio or class you're going to go to, you're always going to find some competition. It's not like you're all going to be best friends and blah blah blah. But it's not like I hate that girl because she's better than me. We're not like that at all, which is good. The only time I've really had to audition with something for my dance school where it's gotten quite competitive is the pantomime, and that's not even in my dance school. It's the dance school holds the auditions, but it's another company that runs the pantomime, and that gets really competitive because it's 100 girls auditioning for 30 places. So yeah, and that's just in the lower age group. The 30 places includes the seniors, and they have their own separate auditions, and there's about 100 of us auditioning for I guess it's I don't know, it's about 20 places without the seniors, I think. So there's us auditioning for that, and then there's seniors auditioning, and overall it's pretty much the entire dance school auditioning for these 30 places, and that gets really competitive. But in the studio itself, it's not as much. I also do a musical theatre class. This isn't really ballet, but I thought I might as well tell it because it is part of my studio. Because, I don't know, our studio is kind of weird. They just run like every class, so yeah. But in the musical theatre class, it does sometimes get quite competitive for solos. I remember the first, well, it wasn't the first time I auditioned for a solo, but the first time I auditioned for a solo on stage, it was like half the class was auditioning for it, and it was like quite competitive. I didn't get it because I can't sing in front of people without my voice seizing up. Why wouldn't I want to sing in front of like 500 people on stage then? Yeah, I got another one, but I didn't get that one. But that was, you could tell, everyone was going, oh well done, you're so well, but you could tell they were judging you, and it was so funny. But like, that's only when it comes to that. But that's the only real competition for like roles I've ever like seen. And when it comes to seniors, they are quite, like, the seniors, like 16 and above, they are quite competitive because, basically because they're all, like, they can audition for higher roles in pantomime, the pantomime that goes on. Kind of went off on a giant tangent there, and none of that had anything to do with ballet for the last bit, so sorry about that. Bye.